Hello, Dr. Lisa Matthews here with Atlanta Scalar and Chilling Eric, continuing the read of this My Life After Death, a memoir from heaven from my son, who is in the afterlife. We're continuing with My Life Review, great chapter. One of the great things I remember during my life review was when I was given my first motorcycle, a dirt bike for motocross racing. I couldn't have been more than 9 or 10. I don't know what we were thinking. But that was the time I knew my mom and dad really trusted my abilities. They knew that no matter what situation I came across, I'd be able to handle it. That was a huge moment for me. I was so proud of myself. It was good. The other memory in the review that made me happy was when I became an uncle. I got to go back to that moment when I held my niece Arlene. I was afraid of holding someone so small. I was scared that I'd drop her or hold her the wrong way. I thought, why would they trust me to hold her? Because to me, I wasn't someone I'd trust. I looked down at her and realized how tiny she was and how big my arms seemed in comparison. She didn't even cry. She was just so happy to be in my arms. It was the first time I cried tears of joy. And yes, he did say that. I remember really clearly one time when I was kind of a dick to a friend. He was jerking me around a little bit. He'd tell me to come over, but wouldn't be there. So he'd tell me I was his friend, or he'd tell me I was his friend, but not step up when I needed him. So I let him have it. It wasn't physical, and I didn't call him names or insult him. He never did that, really. I just said some mean things. I lost my shit because I couldn't see that all I had to do was walk away. After I blew up at him, the dude was never the same. If I'd handled the situation differently, maybe things would have been different between us, or he would have turned out differently. Now he's afraid that the things he says might cause him to lose a friend the same way he lost me. Fear is what kept him in line now. Fear is what keeps him in line now. And I wouldn't wish that on anyone. During the review, I learned that the friend bullied me because he himself was abused and beaten down. It wasn't my intent to do the same to him. Even though I was just putting him in line for the shit we were going through, it triggered that part of his past. You never know how your words or actions might affect somebody. It was fucked up intense to feel his sense of belittlement, fear, and inadequacy firsthand. He felt small, but it didn't show that on his face, so I never knew. With my review, I was able to see his authentic emotions, his authentic self. From that part of my review, I learned that responsibility is never only on one person's shoulder. It's meant to be shared. Yes, I had to be accountable for things I'd said to my friend, but I couldn't be responsible for how he reacted. He had to be responsible for that. My life review made me feel like I had been cast in a role and played it. And when it was over, I got to read the reviews, knowing I was just a character in the play that was my life. It's weird. It's not like I thought, bro, give me a red pen. I got to make edits to that character. Because I knew that whatever choices I'd made were just a part of that play. As a human, I was playing myself. As a spirit, I truly am myself, and I'm looking back at the part I played. During my review, I started having these epiphanies of exactly who I was through the role I played. All the questions like, why did I behave like that? Why was I a dick to that person? Why did I make that decision? Why was I nice to that person? Became part of the bigger picture of what and why I was here to learn. These lessons were all related to my intent, whatever it had to do with whether it had to do with something constructive or destructive. For instance, let's say one day I just decided to stomp on a bunch of ants. That might be a lesson for me to understand that ants have feelings, and by hurting them, I also hurt myself. We all live as a collective, animals, plants, humans, all living beings. So the lesson I would have gotten from killing those ants would be that we're all connected, and when we hurt others, we hurt ourselves. Every action has a reaction. Those kinds of epiphanies during a review can be very profound, and they definitely were for me. My life review also allowed me to see every possible outcome for every choice I'd ever made in my life. And so you can imagine the possibilities are infinite. For instance, if I hadn't have consoled my sister, Michelle, when she had a bad breakup with a boyfriend, things might have played out differently. If I had been an insensitive prick instead, she might have ended up in bad shape. And I saw that if she and I hadn't been so close, my niece might never have been born. Every single moment is affected by every other moment. Life is like a long, a long twisting line of dominoes, and our choices dictate which ones fall where. Pretty cool. We will continue my life review the next bedtime story. Bye, and check it out at atlantiscaler.com, but also channelingerik.com. Both of them are YouTube channels as well.